Am I the asshole for pouring my drink on someone who threw hers in my face first? I went out clubbing last night with my friends. There were 7 of us, 3 guys including me and 4 girls. My girlfriend Hannah was meant to come too, but she was feeling ill. I offered to stay in with her, but she insisted I go out and have a good time. At the club, my friends got talking to a group of women who apparently worked in finance. They were here for some kind of conference and were checking out the local places in their spare time. One of them, Lauren, started trying to chat to me and asked for my number. She was pretty, but I was not interested as I have a girlfriend. I told her this, but she then started asking for pics of Hannah. I showed her and she said that I could do so much better than that. I was very annoyed and told her to leave me alone. Later on, me and my friends were dancing and Lauren and her group came up to us and she started trying to dance with me. I gave her the brush off once again and moved away from her and she gave me a dirty look. A while later, she came back and by that point, she was very drunk. She smirked at me and threw her drink in my face. I was absolutely fuming and in response, I poured my beer on her head. She started crying and ran to the bouncer who got us all kicked out. Everyone then proceeded to have a go at me. I understand that they were annoyed that we got kicked out, but everyone was acting like I was wrong to pour my drink on her. They all saw her splash her drink in my face, but everyone was saying it was nasty to do that to a girl. The ladies in our group were talking about how upset they'd be if someone ruined their dress, hair, makeup by doing that. But when I pointed out she did the same to me, everyone said it wasn't the same. Nobody said goodbye to me last night and I made my own way home. I told Hannah what happened and she agrees that I didn't do anything wrong. I tried to explain myself again over the group chat, but everyone has ignored me. How do I sort this out in a mature way? Would I be the asshole by not telling a guy I've been dating for a month that I'm having artificial insemination to be a single mother? Prior to lockdown, I decided to be a single mother by choice. The journey to accepting this has taken 2 years and included counseling and a very thorough plan to ensure I could do this alone. Right before I was due to have artificial insemination with the donor sperm, the pandemic hit and treatments were canceled. There was no timeline for when things may reopen. For a few days, I was devastated as I was so mentally prepared for this, and then I picked myself up and decided to park my plan. After all, I didn't have a choice. I downloaded a dating app out of curiosity and figured that I could still chat to guys and see what happened without having any expectation. I've been talking with this guy, let's call him G, and it's only been a month, so very early stage. However, we've met up twice and spoken many times on the phone. And I get a really good feeling from him. For the first time in years, quite frankly, I feel emotionally connected with the man and it feels completely natural and promising. During this time, my clinic called me to say they have an approval to open and do I wish to go ahead this month with my treatment. I want to be a mother more than ever, so I said yes, and now I'm on medication with my appointment set for next week. While there's no guarantee I'll get pregnant on the first go, I have a conflict in mind about informing G of my plan. On one hand, it's at such an early stage of our romance without yet being anything committed that I feel like I'm bringing something up prematurely. On the other hand, I wonder what may happen as time goes on. Am I just delaying the inevitable? Is it deceptive of me not to inform him of something so fundamental in my life? A friend told me that I'd sabotage a potential relationship with him by telling him of this plan right now, and that a man who is really into me will accept me even if I'm pregnant, and that more time is needed for him to really get to know me. But in my mind, I'm wondering if it will piss him off by suddenly saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant by the way." Spoken loosely about wanting kids in the future, so I know he'd like a family, but it was a brief passing comment. I'm also not willing to wait to get into a long-term relationship, and we are far too early into be thinking about a family together.
Y'all may know some fake ass friends, but wait till you hear this story time. So, one of my best friends had a roommate. Now, this roommate wasn't just some random chick. She knew this girl a few years back. So, her and her roommate were really close friends. I even met her roommate and I liked her. She was super sweet. So I thought. Anyways, 2 months back, she was looking through her bank statement and she realized that she had some unexplained charges. So I don't remember who exactly she talked to, but they were able to see that some of the charges were from Apple Pay. And my best friend has never used Apple Pay. Ever. Then come to find out, it was linked to her roommate's Apple Pay. So basically, her roommate went through her purse, took out her wallet, grabbed her credit card, and took down her information for her Apple Pay. And I felt so bad for my friend because she literally took this girl in when she had nowhere to live, gave her a freaking bed, did so much for this girl just for her to stab her in the back. So when my friend found out her roommate was stealing from her, she didn't know what she should do because her roommate isn't a US citizen. So my best friend came crying to me along with her other friend. She didn't know if she should go to the cops or not because her roommate is not a US citizen. She's actually from Thailand. But I told my best friend that she should go to the cops and she shouldn't feel bad about it. Because it wasn't like her roommate felt any type of remorse when she got herself a personal trainer, or when she went on a shopping spree, or when she would go out to eat with my friend and pay with her Apple Pay using my friend's money. It honestly hurts me to see other people take advantage of my friend's kindness. So I told her that her roommate deserves everything that comes to her. So my friend made a police report, and I don't know why, but they said it was going to take about a month. So that meant my friend had to keep quiet and live with her roommate still for a month before anything could get done about it. So my friend then got a new credit card that came in the mail. The day that the credit card came in the mail, the roommate actually checked the mail that day. And when she handed my friend her mail, there were small tears on the side like the roommate was trying to look at the mail. So my friend had her new credit card that came in the mail, and her stupid ass, dumbass roommate decided to try to look into it. She tried to get into it. My friend saw the tears on the envelope. You ain't slick. But my friend still had to activate the credit card, so it's not like it did anything. Anyways, after she's done with that, she puts her credit card into her wallet. And then she put her wallet into her purse. She left her purse on her bed while she went to go take a shower. And the way that she has her place set up, you can see her bed from her bathroom. Right before my friend went into the shower, she forgot her towel, so she had to come out of her bathroom and grab a towel. When she came out, she noticed that the lights were on, which was weird because the lights were off when they were watching the movie. And my friend left in the middle of the movie. Anyways, when my friend went back into the bathroom, she kept the door cracked so she could look through it. So my friend grabbed her towel and she went to the bathroom. She kept the door cracked so she could peep through it. Y'all won't believe what she saw her roommate doing. So if y'all remember, I said her purse was sitting on her bed. She saw her roommate go through her purse, take out her wallet, and grab her credit card. So at this point, my friend is just done with this shit. So she gave the officer a call, and he told her to wait for him outside. Keep in mind, the roommate was still in the house, okay? The officer gets there, and he goes in and he talks to the roommate, while my friend waits outside in her car. We don't exactly know what the officer said to this chick. All we know is he scared the crap out of her, because she confessed to stealing almost $1,000 from my friend. She also stole $20 from one of our other friends that came over, a necklace, and so much more. Officer comes out, asks my friend if she wants to press charges. She says yes. Officer leaves and she's waiting in her car. The roommate then starts blowing up my friend's phone, making part 5 right now. So the officer leaves and my friend's obviously still in her car. The roommate starts texting my friend, blowing up her phone. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, honey, you had many chances to redeem yourself. Like, as you were going into her purse, grabbing her wallet, and taking her credit card, did you not feel some sort of guilt? Did you just think what you were doing was right? No, you didn't. And the fact that you even stole more things. Nah, you just mad you got caught. But yeah, my friend texts her back and she said, listen, I can't forgive you and what you did wasn't right. So the roommate texts her and says, I'm leaving. So she left and then my friend went back into her place. Then coronavirus hit and they can't do anything right now. So if you think about it, her roommate kind of got lucky. I just hope she's not out here stealing from someone else. God, please watch over that girl. Y'all, just keep your eyes open for people. Because you may know someone for years and you think you could trust them, but in reality, they're just screwing you over. Stay safe.
Am I the asshole for refusing to let my stepdaughter use my daughter's wedding dress? I met my stepdaughter Zoe 2.5 years ago and I married her father less than 5 months ago. It was a small and private celebration since that's what we felt was the best thing to do since I'm still grieving my daughter Lauren who passed away from sepsis at the age of 26. She was doing okay and was getting ready for her wedding that was supposed to happen the same month she passed away. We still don't know what went wrong. I took most of her belongings, including her wedding dress. We bought it together and she put a lot of her own touches on it. Although it hurt to look at it, I made sure it's safe. My stepdaughter Zoe is younger than Lauren. She's 23. We're not very close and distance is one of the reasons why. The issue started when Zoe visited to talk about her wedding in April. We were talking about wedding dresses and she suddenly brought up Lauren's wedding dress. I asked her what about it and she said she saw it several times and it got stuck on her mind. She asked me if she could see it and I let her. She then said she'd like to wear it at her wedding. I felt uneasy. I told her I wasn't sure that was a good idea. She told me it's fine. She'll have to change a few things in it so that it can fit her size and style, but this is why I had a hard time accepting. I told her I was sorry, but I can't let her have it. She offered me money, but its sentimental value is what matters to me. She argued saying I was making things complicated and it was all right since she too is my daughter. She asked if I don't love her as much as my own daughter, and I told her my love for her is different, but she threw a fit calling me unfair and unreasonable, and I still said no. Her dad got involved in the argument, saying he doesn't see why I'm against it. I declined to discuss it anymore, but they keep bringing it up, asking if my daughter would have wanted someone else to have the opportunity to wear this dress since she unfortunately couldn't. This made me so mad, I lashed out at both of them and kept saying no. Others said I had no right to act like that. What's the point of leaving the dress in the closet when my stepdaughter can make good memories in it? Am I the asshole for not wanting to give her the dress? Would I be the asshole if I called off my wedding because my fiance doesn't want my son to bring his boyfriend to the wedding? My son was born when I was only 15 years old and I've been a single dad since I was 18. It was hard living for a long time money-wise, but I always tried to do my best by my son. Today I own my own gym and my son is now 22 and going to college and works at my gym full-time. He came out to me when he was 14 years old and I've always been supportive of him and his identity. I've been with my fiance for about 2 years and while she does come from a very deep religious and conservative family, she has never had any issue with my son. At least nothing she has ever expressed to me. My son has been dating his boyfriend since he was 18 and I've gotten to know him very well. However, my fiance told me recently that she does not want my son's boyfriend to come to the wedding, nor does she want her parents to even get a hint that my son is gay. That if they found out, they would have a complete fit. This really bothered me because I refused to ask my son to go back in the closet. What is going to happen in the future? What's going to happen when my son gets married himself? Will they want him and his husband barred from other family events? He's my son and will be the best man, and it will be unfair to deny him a +1 because her family has an issue with gay people. When I told her this, she got very angry and told me that I was being selfish and overdramatic, that it would just be for this one day and she wants a perfect wedding. I told her that this was unacceptable and that I was not going to ask my son not to bring his boyfriend. It's my wedding too and I want his boyfriend there. After that, I got the silent treatment for a day, and since then, it hasn't been discussed again. However, it has left an extremely bad taste in my mouth and has been contemplating calling the wedding off. I do not want to marry into a family that would potentially discriminate against my son. I love my fiance very much, but my son will always come first. I told my brother and he said that I was being the asshole here, that it would just be for one day and that since my son is an adult, it's unlikely that he would have that much interaction with his step-grandparents in the future anyway. I still don't feel comfortable about the entire situation and I'm really thinking about calling this wedding off. Would I be the asshole if I did here?
My little sister and I almost drowned in the Russian River. Story time. By the way, my best friend Mia was also with us. Rest in peace, Angel. So throwback to when me and my friend were 15, which means my little sister was 7 at the time. My parents decided to go kayaking, and I was bored as hell at home, so I was like, I'm going with you. And I invited my friend, and then my little sister came along too. So we all went down to kayak at the Russian River. But when we got there, me, my friend, and my little sister didn't want to go kayaking. So instead, we used a blow-up life raft and floated along the river. My parents were kayaking in front of us, we were behind them, we were just chilling until the current got stronger. So we started moving fast down this river, okay? And keep in mind, we didn't bring a paddle with us. All we had was these long sticks that we used to paddle. By the time the water got super rough, my parents were nowhere in sight. They probably assumed we went back. Anyways, we're moving fast down this river. Like, we can't control the raft. And we're getting close to this tree that's halfway in the river. You don't want to miss part 2. It gets crazy. Part 2 of me almost drowning in the Russian River. Story time. So me and my little sister and my friend were moving supersonic speed down this river. Like, when I tell you guys these currents were strong, these currents are stronger than McGregor throwing a right hook. And we were moving right into this tree that was halfway into the river. And there was no way we could move because our dumbasses didn't bring paddles. So right before we hit this tree, somehow our raft turned sideways. So the raft was on its side when it hit the tree. And y'all remember how I said the currents were strong? The currents flipped over the boat and dunked us in the water. Y'all do not understand how hard it was not to die. Swimming against a strong ass current, that shit was hard. Anyways, I was the first one to pop up out of the water. And I'm holding on to this little twig trying not to drown. And I instantly start looking for my friend and my little sister. I look over and I see that my friend is also holding on this branch for dear life. But then I start freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, where's my sister? And I could not see her. So after like a minute, all of a sudden I see this hand going down the river. I'm so sorry, but I'm making part 3 right now. How we almost drowned in the Russian River. Story time. So the raft flipped over and we flopped into the water. The strong ass current tried to drown us, but me and my friend were able to latch onto these branches. Although she was holding onto a small twig, at least she was above the water and not dying. But I was still like, where's my sister? Like, I literally thought I lost my sister. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, even though she pisses me off all the time, I love that little bitch to death. And I was so worried for her. So I'm looking around and I see her hand floating down the river. I thought this bitch was donezo. And so my tired self got off of the branch and I started swimming towards her. I was literally fighting to stay on top of the water. But I got close enough to her where I could grab her and I lifted her up. I was literally drowning myself so she could breathe. I don't know how I was able to do this, but I was able to pass her off to my friend. My little sister started freaking out when she got to my friend. My sister almost made him drown again because she was freaking out, moving everywhere. Almost made my friend let go of the branch. God was definitely with us because we were able to make it to shore. Shit was hard, but we...
Gì vậy? Kệ chứ. 6 giờ trời vẫn sáng mà chị.
Cương đi đâu?
Ở nhà thôi. Nhưng mà nắng em không muốn